Now, Devstream 140 has just ended and we got a look at some stuff and some things like Scarlett Spear, the event, which I will go over in a second. But first, TennoCon, the event over in London, Ontario every year, has been cancelled this year and will now be a digital online event instead. So expect the usual big reveals to all be on streams or videos or social media around the time of the 11th of July. Scarlett Spear, the event is hopefully dropping as early as next week, but could be delayed because staff at Digital Extremes are now being told to work from home because of the state of things in the world right now. Kind of scary times. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not able to say it in a YouTube video because YouTube instantly demonetizes and picks up the word. So hopefully you're all staying safe. Warframe is having a double resource event this weekend. If you need to farm any of that stuff, jump in, gather all of those resources. It is part of the 7-year celebration that is running throughout the month of March. Now, in relation to the status effect changes from the mainline update, some of those are going to change again, like impact and gas. Impact damage will no longer knock enemies down or ragdoll them. Instead, it will add a big stagger when you get 5 stacks of impact. This stagger will then give you a chance to open up enemies to a Parazon finisher. Gas damage will stack like it used to, but now has a cap on how many stacks you have and will grow in size from 3 meters up to 12 meters of a gas cloud. So a much larger area of effect. More stacks on those enemies means a larger gas cloud. When the person then affected by the gas procs dies, the gas effect will stay around that area for the rest of the gas procs duration. So hopefully gas damage or gas status effect will be much more improved compared to what it is right now. Like I said, the Scarlett Spear event was shown off. They played through the mission for us to let us see what it was like. We got a look at that squad link in action with Space Squad and of course Ground Squad running the event. The event vendors' prices are not finalised, but she was selling a new sentient rifle called the Bazmoo, which fires explosive bolts, probably energy bolts, and has an alternate fire that links enemies with a beam while depleting your recharge and leeching enemies' health. So it's going to be fun to try that weapon out as well, especially if it's leeching enemies' health. The vendor is selling arcanes, we know that. A stance former blueprint, which is new, but is basically like an aura former, where you're going to be able to use any stance once you form that polarity with a stance former. But the vendor is also selling more items that they haven't added into the dev build. Now, more arcanes will also be added once the event goes live and they know that no exploits are being used throughout the event, because there are definitely clans who are kind of infamous for using exploits. You know who you are. So for the event, you simply pick ground raid or space raid from their vendors, or I guess the terminal, on either side of the event relay in order to run as either ground team or railjack team. This mission or the event is an endless mission type that allows you to gather as many points as you want before quitting. Rewards and difficulty will scale with time spent in that mission. Stay longer, become harder, gain more shinies. I didn't mean become harder, but you know what I mean. Ground team will fight the Condrex boss, and the space team will defend the uplinks in the railjack mission and get the kill codes off the ground team. This of course is the boss that was leaked, if it even is a boss, and it seemed pretty straightforward to kill. Simply shoot it in the big Sauron eye to disable it and put your uplink beacons down that will get you those kill codes from Space Squad. Now, you need to defend the beacons at the same time as well, because there is going to be sentience spawning in. Once that Condrix is dead, you need to go and find the next Condrix and do the same to it. Basically shoot it in the eye. Now, railjack team will be split into different members, I guess, doing different roles, either killing the sentient fighter ships outside the big, I think it was called the Murex sentient ship, while someone is inside the big sentient ship keeping the beacons alive while linking to ground squad to gather those kill codes. So the event looks pretty straightforward, but kind of pretty hectic at the same time, especially if you're doing this as an endurance run for as many event points as possible. But I guess if you look at those Condrixes as excavators that drop down, you know, instead of having to keep them alive, you need to fucking kill them. And then once that one's dead, you need to go and do the next one, you know, and keep kind of rinsing and repeating. Now, Scott did mention that the amount of enemies and difficulty might be changed as well. The cost of some of the items off the vendor for this event were about 2,000 event points for the new sentient rifle and sigils as well, I think. The stance form was 5,000 event points. Arcanes only cost 2,500 for 10 of them, and 5,250 points for a full stack to rank 5, which seems like a lot, especially if you're after the new weapon as well. But like I said, costs are not finalised for the event vendor, and they said that some of them will be tweaked before this event goes live. Now, we've been told that liches are going to become harder, you know, much more of a challenge to kill, but also that we can effect them with status effects. They want status to be relevant to all enemies, with other bosses and Eidolons, even Eidolons, becoming affected possibly in the future as well. This is Titania Prime. How good does she look, right? Her prime weapons are of course the Corinth Prime, which has an all-fire that can be manually detonated, and right now the Corinth is a really good weapon, with the exception I guess of the all-fire and the explosive damage fall-off. But the Pangolin Prime melee is going to be her go-to melee weapon. No one's seen that weapon coming. I don't think anyone expected the Pangolin Prime to show up with this Prime access, but it looked very, very sleek. It looks like a beautiful weapon, kind of like the Dakra Prime in a way. Her Diawata Prime as well, the kind of exalted melee weapon that Titania has, looks absolutely amazing. Now, the thing about Titania is she is an insanely good Warframe. Right now, her Dex Pixia is probably one of the most powerful setups in the game, but on stream she was unmodded, so we didn't get to see the full power of them. They are also adding a blink effect to her Razor Wing, so her mini wing, her mini arc wing mode will basically have a blink like the normal arc wings, which is going to be a really welcomed addition. Now, the bit I think that a lot of you are really excited for, right? This image here is the combos that you can make from all of the modular arc wings. About 60 modular arc wings in total, all doing different things or having different stats. So finding the most efficient one of these is going to be a lot of fun. Mastery for all of these will be gained off the Arc Wings engine, so you can only get mastery off an engine type once. If you currently have Arc Wings built, then expect them maybe to be broken down and you get to keep the parts, so no extra grinding involved for parts that you already have. You're going to be able to jump in and make your own modular Arc Wing almost straight away. But they did also say that there is new Arc Wing parts to be added to further customize these as well. Now, Nova Deluxe will be dropping with the Scarlet Spear event, with a Syandana and an amazing sniper rifle skin, the Alamos sniper skin, which looks fucking great. They also showed off Ash Deluxe again, which we have already seen, but that's pretty much all of Devstream 140. Let me know what caught your eye. On a more serious note, like I said at the start of the video, stay safe. It is crazy times right now. Do me a huge favour, like the video or don't, subscribe or don't, and as always, thanks very much for watching.